30 years after purchasing a $13 ring, a woman discovered she'd been deceived. Staring in disbelief at the appraiser, she couldn't fathom what had just been said. Surely, she thought, the appraiser must have made an error. Neither she nor the appraiser seemed prepared for such a situation. Unsure of what to do next, the woman's life took an unexpected turn with what she heard next. It made her feel like instant royalty. An unidentified woman from London was on her usual stroll through the Middlesex Hospital flea market, west of the city, casually browsing the various stalls. Most of the items looked old and worn, and with only a few pounds in her pocket, she was determined to make her purchase count. As she considered a necklace, something else caught her eye, a large, sparkling ring glimmering in the corner. She turned toward it, and in that moment it felt like fate had led her to this piece. The woman, who chose to remain anonymous, was hoping to find something beautiful and luxurious. Though she knew it looked far more expensive than she could ever afford, there was something about the ring that resonated deeply with her. It wasn't just a trinket. It felt symbolic, like a reminder of the dreams she held close to her heart. Despite a nagging feeling that something was off, she couldn't resist the pull of the ring. It was massive, with a large crystal mounted in a way that made it look like something out of a fairy tale. She knew she had to have it, not just for its beauty, but as a personal talisman, a symbol of her belief that if she worked hard enough, she could one day own a real diamond. Unaware of what the future held, she spent her last 10 pounds, around $13, on the dazzling ring. From that day forward, it became her constant companion. She wore it every day, no matter where she went. Decades passed, and the ring remained by her side, a cherished piece that made her feel like royalty even after 30 years. Though she led a quiet, unassuming life, that one ring continued to remind her of her inner strength and her dreams. One afternoon, a routine trip to the grocery store took a strange turn that would change her life. After finishing work, the Londoner stopped at a local shop to pick up a few essentials. As she waited in the checkout line, she noticed a stranger staring intently at her hand. Finding it odd but trying to ignore it, she focused on her place in line. Little did she know, the mysterious man wasn't about to let her out of his sight. The man's gaze remained locked on her ring, making the woman increasingly uncomfortable. When it was finally her turn, she hurriedly paid for her groceries and rushed out the door, all the while sensing the man still watching her every move. Her suspicion grew and she started to worry. Was she being followed? And if so, what did he want? As she quickly made her way toward her car, she noticed the man trailing closely behind her. She tried to lose him in the crowd, keeping him in her peripheral vision, but he wouldn't let up. Fearful and unsure whether she was overreacting, she quickened her pace. But soon, the distance between them closed, and she could feel him just behind her. In a moment of panic, she spun around to confront him, only to be completely blindsided by what he said. The mysterious man had been following her because something about her costume jewelry had caught his attention. He asked if she would mind letting him take a closer look at her ring. Alarmed and wary, especially given his unrelenting focus on the ring, she didn't appreciate his bold approach. Suspecting it might be a scam or worse, she brushed him off and hurried away, leaving the unsettling encounter behind her. The woman's talisman, a cherished crystal ring, was always a constant companion. However, on this particular morning, her haste to leave for work caused her to inadvertently overlook her ritual, slipping the ring onto her finger before leaving the house. As she hurried to catch her bus, the realization that she was missing her precious ring dawned on her. The ring held immense sentimental and perhaps even financial value. The woman's paranoia had been heightened by a recent encounter with a suspicious man at the grocery store who seemed overly interested in her jewelry. Despite her anxiety, she decided to return home to retrieve her ring. Back in her bedroom, she frantically searched for the missing ring. Her mind raced, connecting dots and recalling the encounter with the strange man. The more she searched, the more convinced she became that her gut instinct was right. Something was amiss about the man, and his interest in her ring seemed more than just casual curiosity. As her search intensified, a memory surfaced. She remembered placing the ring on the bathroom counter as a reminder to put it on after brushing her teeth. With a mix of relief and disappointment, she found the ring exactly where she had left it. The woman's financial situation was precarious, and the thought of the man's potential interest in her ring added to her worries. She wondered if the ring might have belonged to someone famous or if it held hidden value. The encounter had sparked a desire to have the ring appraised by experts at Sotheby's in London. Perhaps they could shed light on the ring's history and provide some answers to her burning questions. The antique ring, its silver tarnished and encrusted with dirt, held a secret that was about to be unveiled. Days of anticipation turned to dread as Sotheby's announced they would need to conduct tests on the stone. The suspense was unbearable. When the results arrived, the Londoner was astonished. Sotheby's confirmed that the ring contained a massive 26-carat cushion-shaped white diamond dating back to the 19th century. Disbelief washed over her. How could she have been wearing such a valuable piece without knowing? Jessica Wyndham, head of Sotheby's jewelry department, explained that the ring's historical significance and unique characteristics had disguised its true value. The diamond's older cutting style, designed to preserve weight rather than maximize brilliance, had fooled many. The antique cushion shape and duller facets further obscured its true nature. Sotheby's thorough authentication process involved testing the stone at the Gemological Institute of America. This meticulous examination determined the diamond's authenticity and ultimately set its value. Jessica Wyndham estimated that the ring could fetch as much as £350,000, approximately $450,000, at auction. Sotheby's explained that the diamond's outdated cut and dirty condition had obscured its true brilliance, leading many to underestimate its value. The woman recalled the ring's sparkle when she first saw it at the flea market. However, she believed that the ring's brilliance might have been reserved solely for her. Having lived a modest life, she found treasure in another person's discarded possessions. The ring was eventually auctioned and sold for a remarkable £656,750, nearly $850,000. This unexpected windfall not only transformed her life, but also revealed a hidden connection to royalty. While the woman's story is extraordinary, it's important to note that not all costume jewelry holds such immense value. Here are some factors to consider when assessing the potential value of your costume jewelry. Materials. Jewelry made from precious metals like gold or silver and gemstones like diamonds, rubies, or sapphires is more likely to be valuable. Maker's mark. A maker's mark or signature can indicate the piece's origin and quality. Age. Antique or vintage jewelry can be more valuable due to its historical significance. Condition. The overall condition of the piece, including its wear and tear, can affect its value. Design and style. Unique or rare designs can increase a piece's value. If you suspect your costume jewelry might be valuable, consider consulting with a jewelry appraiser or antique specialist for a professional evaluation.